sometimes following God
It's
can
not
be
fun.
like, it's not. It can be like crying every single day.
Yes.
See, that's what my journey looked like. I was so in such a place of confusion that I would cry every single day because I was just so in so much grief and so confused. And so that's not fun. I understand why people don't change. I understand why people go back to Egypt. I understand why people return to what was comfortable because that space is so uncomfortable and you're stripped down to nothing. Like, you have to start to build from the foundation. Hi, my name is Teeny, and I'm Sade. Welcome to the No But Actually podcast.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the No But Actually podcast. I'm Teeny.
And I'm Sade.
And this is episode 4 of season 2. And our topic for today is
endurance for the testimony.
Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so this is, I think, a timely topic for folks because people are doing hard things. And it's really easy to give up, but don't give up. Keep going because there's a story on the end of that endurance.
No, facts. It sounds so cliche, but it's so true. It is.
Yeah.
We're walking testimonies.
No,
of
seriously. First, I just want to acknowledge that for the people who are doing hard things, whether you just felt like God was telling you something, whether circumstances put you in a corner and said this is what's about to happen, there's a reason why. And it doesn't feel like it at first. It very much feels like everything around you is crumbling. And I just want to acknowledge how difficult that can be because it sucks. It can be really hard, but it's not for nothing. It's not the end of the world, that's for sure. You're still here for a reason. If you're able to even hear our voices right now, like God still is using you for something. So just hold on to that and keep that in mind. But there is a beautiful testimony that is on the other side of what you're going through it's worth just continuing forward. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. And in this season, I just hope that, you're able to learn the right lessons so that we don't get into a loop or start repeating things again. We talked about that on an earlier episode. So really just reflecting, even though there's hard times, what am I learning from this space? What can I take from this space? What is this teaching me? What is God trying to get out of me? Because God is concerned with our character. He's very concerned with that because sometimes I'm just like, oh, this sucks. Oh, this, but he's very much a God of the journey. And sometimes we're just people of the destination. I'm trying to get there, And so, but he's trying to refine us in that process. So just letting him do the refining and learning the right lessons. And whether you journal, whether you document stuff and post it on social media, like sometimes take people on that journey with you because that's what a testimony is. You have to tell somebody. I have to say, hey girl, this is what happened to me. This is what I've been through. This is how I came through. So even just talking through the process. I think I had even sent Teeny like a video the other day with, was it Doechii?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's watched it, but she's kind of documented her journey on YouTube. And even Kanye West, if you've ever seen Genius, I think it's called Genius. Yeah, on Netflix, just documenting your journey. It's important as well. Yeah. All those steps. So,
absolutely. Yeah, I would say for me personally, like there's a lot of things that I've had to endure over the past, like just first of all, since 2020, which is crazy to think about that because we were in 2026 like 100
years ago.
Like, or even worse, 3 years ago. Because we definitely keep on looking at 2020 like it was last year, and we are 6 years later. So
I know, blows my mind.
But for me, like since that year, like I'd already been going through things before that didn't make sense to me, that were frustrating. But I think 2020 was like really like the solidification of just like, nah, sis, you about to do something different. And I was not ready for that. Like so much happened within my family life, with my career, the way that the Lord snatched me up and said, this is what's about to happen. I tell people, like, we're based out of Dallas right now, but I lived in Seattle for 7 years. And I had my experiences in Seattle, made great friendships in Seattle, met a lot of really good people that I'm still in contact with today. But I was ready to transition. I was ready to move to DC. I was like, you know what? Seattle's great. The weather is lovely. Mountains, trees.
The weather is lovely.
In the summertime, please relax.
Have y'all been to Seattle? That's not how I describe Seattle weather. For 2 months. Every other time it's just a little slight annoying drizzle.
Beautiful summers. Beautiful trees.
Beautiful dresses. Beautiful gowns.
But I was ready to switch it up and move to Chocolate City. I was trying to go to DC. I was like, let me have a different experience in a different time. And the Lord saw the vision I had for my life. He said, not you. And the way I always say, God dragged me to Dallas by my ponytail, because I was not trying to come back here. I was like, that's not the life I'm called to live. And I was like, it is. And it was met with I had to endure a lot of things. I had to like navigate a lot of stuff with my family. I had to like, be in transition and do challenging things that I did not want to do. And I definitely didn't want to do them here. I wanted to live my best life. I wanted to continue traveling the world and like just living a different life.
I love that.
I was trying to be outside. But because I did come back, even though I didn't want to, God grew me in a way that I probably would not have grown otherwise. And that was really hard to accept in the moment, because that's not what I wanted. That's not how I wanted to live my life. Yes, I wanted to like be for the Lord, but not like that. Like not
sold out. For Christ.
Like that's what it looks like to be sold out, from a spiritual standpoint. Like this is what it really looks like when you say yes,
absolutely.
when you are trying to grow spiritually. Like it looks like doing harder things that most people wouldn't do.
Absolutely.
And it took a lot to keep going. It had people looking at me sideways, people asking me all kinds of questions like, so what are you doing? And I didn't really have a clear answer other than just like, this is where I'm at. Like there was a season where I didn't work for 4 months. And that was rough. And I still try to finagle and find ways to work because I didn't understand what God was trying to show me. I just knew I wasn't supposed to be doing my traditional day job. And that was hard because I was like, I've paid money for this career. I've invested time, and no one wants to have to put away something that they've invested a lot in, whether it's financial resources, whether it's emotional resources. It's really hard to step away from something that you've been a part of for a long time, that you've devoted, you've made sacrifices for years and years and years. And God is just like, all right, put that up, put that in a box. We're getting rid of that. That's tough. That's not an easy thing to do. Because it makes it feel like it was for nothing. But the beautiful thing about God is nothing is wasted. But we have to accept the seasons where we're not going to focus on the thing we invested so much for. And that's challenging. But that's where that endurance comes in for the testimony. It's for a reason. It's not to spite you. It's not to, make light of, what you care about. It's to grow you in a different way. And so because I was obedient and coming back here, doing the things that I needed to do with family, allowing myself to grow in the community that I was supposed to. There was a period where I was just like, I don't need new friends. I have my best friend right here. She's so great. I have a few other friends and they're reasonable people. We talk, we go out, we eat, we have a good time. That's all I need. And I was very comfortable with that mindset. I was actually okay with that. Like, it was good. And it was one of my friends who was just like, you need to have more friends. And I was just like, who are you? Do you not want to be my friend anymore? What are you trying to say? But listening to him and actually developing more community, expanded my community by 5 times what I had initially. And those people have very much carried me in a season I didn't even know was going to be as challenging as that was. But it was even less, it didn't feel as bad because I had those people. Absolutely. But again, it allowed me to also endure because I was just like, what I'm going through, I'm not alone in what I'm going through. There are other people going through the same thing. There are people who I'm finally connecting with that understand my language and the way that I think and like the way that I process life, and are pushing in the same directions, also recognizing that they had to shed those same things too in order to be the best version of themselves. And that helped me endure. So that, because I'm like, there's a better story on the other end of this. This is for a reason. Even though I don't understand, I don't know where I'm going. I'm probably crazy at this point, but I just know that back there, I can't go back there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that there wasn't anything for me there. Like, even if I wanted to, I don't have the appetite for it anymore. And that's something else we can talk about later, is like what it feels like to lose your appetite for things that you used to crave, because that's a different kind of grief.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, endurance for the testimony is just a word of encouragement, because when you're going through seasons that feel like everything is being stripped away, it can be really easy to give up, even if you don't know where else to go, because you're just like, I'd just rather not do this. And it's important to push through.
Absolutely. I'm going to kind of piggyback off of something that you said. I feel like that's what God really did in my life. Like, he just broke me down to the foundation and was like, let's build again. Because this time when you build, it's going to be sturdy. And so sometimes people are like, I don't want to be broken down into that space, but I'm telling you, it is so worth it. It is so worth it. Do it. Get down to that space, because what you're going to build is going to be incredible, and you're going to have the life that you were always called to live. Because sometimes we're living counterfeit lives, let's just be honest. And so when you get broken down to that space and really find out, God, who am I? Who did you create me to be? It is such a beautiful space. It's an undoing. It's uncomfortable. It looks like depression.
It's inconvenient.
It's inconvenient. Whenever you a grown person trying, what? I should have done this when I was 5. Like, why am I doing this now? It's inconvenient.
And it's unpopular.
It is.
It's an unpopular.
It looks bad.
Yeah, it looks
on the
really
outside.
Bad. It's unpopular. It causes people to question your sanity,
Absolutely.
your thinking.
Absolutely.
Like, people will say you're delusional.
Absolutely.
But the more God leads you through the process, the more peace you start to have. And you just have to reconcile the fact that where God is taking you may not be where the people who have been in your life are going. At least not right now. And that kind of goes back to what we talked about in our other episode about like having to level up.
Absolutely.
And so leveling up can look different for different people. And sometimes when people see the way that you level up, it looks extreme. And that's the hard part, because you don't want to feel like, especially with your ecosystem, the people who raised you, the people who've known you for a long time, like, they are also a checkpoint as to your level of sanity in certain seasons.
It is,
and so like when they're telling you that you don't look right, like you're acting different,
you're not
like
yourself,
you're not
what's
yourself,
going on?
You know, it's really hard to say, but this is God showing me to do this. Like, I feel really led to do this. And that can go a lot of different ways. Like, ultimately, it really is between you and God on how that moves. But there's fruit that I think that comes from it that kind of indicates like, no, they heard correctly. Like,
absolutely,
there is a point where it's just like there's certain fruits that you're gonna look that that are undeniable that God is in this.
Absolutely.
Like, every good thing comes from the Lord.
Absolutely.
Right. And so like those are the markers that are indicating like, no, they're doing something right. Maybe I don't have the capacity to understand it, but the fruit is indicating like they're doing something correct, and they're glowing. They're showing like more confidence, like all these things that we already use as markers to evaluate other people. How can we deny them when we see them in somebody else just because we don't agree with how they're getting there?
Their method.
You know? And so that's something that, it's important in the process of just like enduring for the testimony, because over time you'll start to see certain fruit. And I think that's something else, like making sure you're passing the right tests. And that the way that you gauge whether or not you pass the right test is there's a fruit that comes from it. Like, the idea of changing and evolving into a better person, there are certain things, if you're honest with yourself, you can look at it and say like, this is not a good habit that I have. This is not a good character trait that I have. Like, this is not, like, I don't want to be the person who's lying all the time, where I have to live a double life, you know, where I tell one story here and then I tell another story there. Like, that's not consistent. Like, that's not who I want to be. it works in a survival mindset. Like, you know, that is what the world does teach people in order to like
Yeah.
make it from point A to point B. But is that who you, like, if you can't confidently walk around and say I lie all the time, it may not be like
Yeah.
how you're supposed to be, you know? I
Absolutely.
think that's just like a good like checkpoint and say like that's inconsistent, and that causes you to kind of be fractured in who you are.
Yeah.
And over time that catches up with you. So there's certain things that we can all look at in our lives and say like, I want to improve from that space. And so passing your test looks like you start to look at these areas where you can personally identify like that's a problem, and I can say like I've grown from that. Like my appetite for that has changed. I don't feel compelled to lie to people about who I am, where I've been, what I want for myself. Like you don't feel led to lead a double life. You can be one person. So who you are in one room is the same person you're going to be in another room. You know. So I think that's something as a checkpoint to be like, I want to make sure I'm passing the right test. Like as I'm going through these different things, I feel God is encouraging me to navigate so that I can grow as a person, making sure I'm going in the right direction. Because sometimes life is hard. Make sure it's hard in the right direction.
Absolutely. Please. It can be hard in the wrong ways.
Because don't be unnecessarily difficult for your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to add something to that.
Yes. I literally just lost my train of thought when I said yes. But what was I about to say? What's the last thing that you said? Because it was kind of connected.
Do not work hard in the wrong direction.
Before that.
Make sure you pass the right tests.
Yes.
Okay.
Was it tied to that? No.
Okay. I don't know. I'm so sorry, friend.
I don't know what I was going to say. But one thing that I can say is keep going. It's going to be worth it in the end. And I know this sounds so cliche, but if it's not good, it's not done. So keep going. Like, let God, it says he's the author and finisher of our faith. So let him complete that work in you. Don't hop off the surgery table while he's still working on you, because sometimes that space, you just want it to be over so bad or be completed so bad. But let him go through that process. And I can't tell you how long your wilderness season is going to be, but I can tell you that there's a set amount of time. And in that time, you can either do what you need to do and come out of that space and elevate to that next level, or you can stay in that space for 40 years.
Yeah.
So let's not do the 40 years.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be how long? 11 days. And it took 40 years. So let's not do the 40 years. Let's learn what we're supposed to learn in that space and then elevate to that next space. Once you start to see those loops, those cycles, really sit with yourself, really do that hard work, please. It's so worth it. And also ask God for the root of everything, because some things we think that we're dealing with, it's not the root. But when you pull something out from the root, it's really out. But if you just pull it, tug at it or whatever, or think, oh, this just has to do with this, sometimes you have to go back to when I was 5.
Yeah.
But after you go back to when I was 5 and you figure out what that root place is, we're not going to keep going back to that space. We can say, okay, this is something that I deal with. Like I always say, okay, rejection. Okay, that's something that is a little sore for me. So I'm aware when I'm in different environments. Okay, this can be a little triggering for me. So I'm just aware of how to navigate that space in whatever environment that I'm in, but I'm not letting it hold me back, if that makes sense. But just being aware, because we all have vices or things that kind of hold us back or that we're more prone to, but we're not letting that space hold us.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And that's something, and that's a place that a lot of people don't want to deal with, is like when I was 5, like they don't want to go back there, or they'll go back there, but they stay there because the story is so intriguing to people. And so they're like, oh, well, at least I can get this level of attention from when I was 5. But like, if you are constantly telling the story when I was 5, that's called a cycle.
It is a cycle,
and
it is.
That's information about whether or not you're growing from a space. Because as we've learned, one thing that I can say I'm learning is that if you're repeating cycles, it's a sign that you're not growing. It just means that you're staying in the same loop over and over and over again. And maybe there are perks to like being in that cycle, but I feel like there's more in
Absolutely.
life
There's so much
than
more.
just that loop. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like the enemy loves loops.
He does.
And,
He just keeps us, you stuck there, let me go work on somebody else.
That
You're doing
part-
this to yourself. You're holding yourself
that
back.
part,
You
because
already
it
put
makes his
yourself in
job
that
easier.
space. He doesn't even have to intervene or do anything new. Like,
He don't have to do nothing.
you don't gotta
doing
do
his
nothing.
job
You
for
go,
him.
yeah, you're gonna
That's
help him out and
crazy.
keep yourself stuck. And then
Yeah.
also, we're talking about people who keep repeating that story. There's also people who don't even want to address that.
Yeah, I know,
And
that's what I was
so
gonna say, yeah.
that part is also just as harmful. Like you have to address these things that
Yeah.
happened and how you got to this space. Okay, why am I in survival mode? What
Right.
made me get to this space? So
Exactly.
acknowledging that is very important. Not being avoidant.
Yeah. Oof.
It's okay to cry, to be angry. It's okay to feel emotions. We are a human being.
This is
Like
the
in the
part.
Bible, it said that Jesus, he felt all the emotions. That's what
Yeah.
makes us human. That's part of the human experience. So still feeling that space, but then also not letting our emotions just completely lead us. Okay. So being led by the spirit and not just by emotions.
No, that's really good. And yeah, like you said something and I was just like, that is, yeah, part of what I've learned is that whenever we don't want to address certain things subconsciously, I really feel like our subconscious is more aware of things than we are in our conscious mind. And a lot of times digging deeper and understanding what happened to you when you were 5 will challenge your current systems.
Absolutely.
And so we don't want to challenge those current systems because we don't want to have uncomfortable conversations. And we don't want to maybe have to limit access, create boundaries with people about certain things. And that causes people to kind of withdraw and just be like, you know what, I'm just going to stick it out in this lifetime with this current system because that's easier for me to navigate. That's easier. Like, I don't want to lose these people. I like the role that I play in this ecosystem and these dynamics that I maintain with people. And that's not, like, you can ultimately, you can do that. But again, for me, because of the way my faith is set up, because of what I believe, I just don't want to meet the Lord and him be like, what did you do at this time?
What did you do?
And I'd be like, oh, well, like I did this and I cared for so-and-so and I lived this life right here in this bubble. And even though it was painful, like I endured for all these reasons. And God was just like, you're right, you endured.
Wow,
For all,
man.
in the wrong direction.
Literally.
Because you were actually, like, if you had like stepped away from these people for at least like 2 years, I could have made you a millionaire, and then you would have actually been able to bless the community.
Yes.
And you could have multiplied that more and more and more.
Absolutely.
That's the parable of the talents.
Absolutely.
And we don't think like that because we are so comfortable, and we'd rather not rock the boat. We'd rather not be uncomfortable.
Correct.
We'd rather not lose certain people in this short-term perspective.
Yeah.
But those people won't allow you to grow either.
Yeah.
And that's the part that can be the hidden but not so hidden part of like avoiding
Absolutely.
digging deeper into when I was 5.
Yeah. That's so good. And even whenever you're saying that, because so many times people want to be like, I sacrifice. And I'm just like, Jesus was a sacrifice.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
He was the only one.
He was the only one. What are you doing? You are not Jesus Christ Jr.
No.
Like, that's not what you're called to do. It says he came to give you life and life more abundantly. So if your life is looking scarce, you are on the wrong path. Period. You heard it here on the Nova Ashley podcast. So let's get aligned. That's what this year's about.
Yes.
Getting aligned.
Get aligned.
We're using our talents. We're doing what we're supposed to do. We're
Yep.
letting go of what we're supposed to let go of. We're surrendering what we're supposed to surrender. We're picking up what we're supposed to pick up. We're in alignment. We're being obedient.
Yeah. And
Even if it's scary, because
it's I'm not gonna say it's not scary. It is scary. There are
Yeah.
hard things that you're going to be asked to do, and mindsets you're going to be asked to break out of, and you will have to go through the process of not being liked by folks. You're going to have to go through the
Absolutely.
process
Be the
of
villain.
like being the villain.
Cruella. That's what I call myself. Just call me Cruella.
And nobody wants to like go through that. Like but that speaks to people pleasing and a whole bunch of stuff we can talk about in our later
That should be another episode. People pleasing.
What? That would be the death of you.
And then cut that off, because the way I cut that off, wow.
No, like it's necessary because like that shows who your idol is. So, but yeah, like these are things that have to be uprooted because the goal is to grow and be fruitful.
Absolutely.
And if you look at yourself like a plant, like a tree, a shrub, like in order for it to really grow and be as fruitful as it possibly can be, things have to be cut off. It has to be pruned in a particular way so it can be like it can grow the way that it needs to.
Absolutely.
So that is the encouragement we have for folks in this season because don't be stuck, y'all. Don't be stuck fighting in the wrong direction and having a really ghetto testimony.
Please don't make the Lord look bad. Don't be bad PR for the Lord, please.
Let it be a story that actually you can look on and like be excited about, because that's also a natural byproduct of enduring in the right direction, is that you'll be able to look back and like, even though you will admit you've gone through hard things, you'll be able to say it's worth it.
Absolutely.
You can look at the growth that you've experienced. You'll feel lighter. Like I was thinking through like, what are some like markers that you can tell you're passing your test in the right direction? And one of the things that like I noticed is that there's a freedom and like you feel less weight to perform.
Yes.
I think that's the freedom that we're actually being called to in Christ, is that you don't have to perform for anyone. Anything that God put inside of you for his glory will come naturally.
Absolutely.
And it's never going to feel like work.
Absolutely.
It's a labor of love, in fact.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, I just love being here.
Absolutely.
You know?
That's where I belong. That's what I was born for.
Yes.
Like such a time as this.
For such a time as this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you'll feel aligned.
Ew. Love that word. Word of the year.
And more at peace in terms of who you are. And so I think those are markers to take into consideration as you're gauging for yourself, like, am I even fighting in the right direction? I've been using all these weapons in the wilderness. I learned how to cut and do this, that, and the other. But like, are you fighting towards the promised land, or are you doing a loop back to Egypt? Because, or another version of Egypt, because you may be leaving one Egypt for another Egypt.
No, facts.
And yeah, I just don't wish that on nobody, because there's a lot more to explore in life.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But you know what? I know anybody who listens to this podcast, they're going to be aligned. I'm trusting that you're going to be aligned, especially if you made it to episode 4.
That part.
This season, there's something in you that listens.
This is true.
That hears.
You have ears to hear.
Yes.
You clocked it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, that's what we wanted to share about endurance for the testimony. As you're going through, it's going to be worth it. There's a story on the other side that you're going to share that people are going to be like, wow. And it's going to keep them going in their faith as well.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yes. Can't wait to hear y'all's testimonies.
Yes.
Share in the comments.
Drop it in the chat.
Yes. Let's see it. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for our second season on the Nova Actually podcast. We're so grateful that you tuned in.
Yes.
Please share with us, interact with us, and can't wait to see you on our next season.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.